What's going on? It's good to see you. I'm Matthew and welcome to this episode of Barlow BBQ. Now, it is December here in Southwest Florida, and this is the first December that Martha and I are spending our first winter down here in Florida. And the weather's cooled off rather nicely, and it is the holiday season, all right? So what we're gonna do today is some pork ribs. First time doing ribs down here in Florida. I got my Weber Kettle grill fired up, so we're gonna do the ribs on my Weber Kettle. And since we're in the holiday spirit, all right, we're gonna make a cranberry chipotle glaze to put on those ribs at the end of the cook, all right? So this sounds pretty good. It's a beautiful day. It's a Barlow BBQ day. Let's get started. All right, I'm back here by the grills. The Weber Kettle is all fired up, ready to go. That's got a grill temp right now at 273. I don't want to let it go too much higher than that. So I've got my bottom vent closed down to a quarter of the way open, and I got that top vent right there, just open just a little bit on the very top. So we're gonna help keep those temperatures down. So let me go inside. I'm gonna go grab the ribs. I'll show you how I've got those prepped and ready to go. And then we're gonna get those on the kettle and we'll start smoking. Boom, here's what we're using today. This is a rack of baby back ribs, and I've rubbed these up with my own original recipe, a Barlow BBQ pork rub. I'll have a recipe for it right down below in the description box so you can try it out for yourself. And if you try it out, let me know what you think down below in the comments, all right? Now I did remove the membrane underneath on the other side of these ribs. If you need to know how to do that, just Google it. It's really, really easy to do, all right? So, kettle's ready to go, ribs are ready to go. Let's get them on. Now real quick before I put these ribs on, let me show you how I've got this set up. Down below underneath the grill rack, I've got some tin foil, and that's gonna catch drippings from our ribs and make cleanup later real easy. Now in the back here, I'm using a Slow and Sear. That's what's holding all the charcoal, and that's available from S&S Grills. I'll have a link to them right down below in the description box. In my opinion, you've got to have one of these if you're using a Weber Kettle. Got a nice fat chunk of some hickory wood, my favorite smoking wood right there. And this is my grill probe right here, my grill thermometer. Just gonna remove that so I can get the ribs on. All right, we are smoking. Now from here on out, it's gonna be pretty easy. I'm not gonna wrap them in any foil and do nothing like that. I'm just gonna let them rip right here on the kettle. Now I'm gonna give these probably about 2 hours before we come back out here and check them out, see how they're doing. But in the meantime, I'm gonna make sure that my grill temp is holding right where I want it to be, between 250, 275, all right? And if you stay to the end of this video, I'm gonna show you my special trick that I use to know when ribs are done. It doesn't involve any temperatures and no fancy gadgets, nothing like that. It's real easy. All right, so I'm going to just enjoy this beer for a little bit, and I'll see you when it's time to check on these ribs. Okay, all right. Well, it's been 2 hours since I saw you last, and it's cooled off a little bit down here. We got some cloud cover, so to warm up a little bit, put on this vest. Grill temp has been doing great. It's been hanging out at 275 for the last couple hours. So I think it's time to lift the lid. Let's check out these baby back ribs and see how they're doing. Ooh yeah, these ribs are looking mighty fine. I'm digging the color we've got going on there. So I'll tell you what, I've got my handy dandy digital thermometer with me right here. Boom. I'm just curious. I'm gonna check the temperature, see how far along we are on this barbecue journey for today. 160, all right, close to 170. Try here in the middle. I keep hitting the bone. Let me go in the middle there. There we go. All right, 180. So we are getting real close. Yep, these ribs are coming along real nice, but I think they're gonna need at least another hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover these up and let them rip for, you guessed it, another hour. But in the meantime, Martha is here and she's gonna put together that chipotle cranberry glaze that we're gonna put on these ribs at the end of the cook when they're ready to take off, all right? So let me get out of here and let me send you over to Martha, and she's gonna make that glaze for you.
We're using leftover cranberry sauce from Thanksgiving today. You can use canned if you'd like. Now it will be a little sweeter, so you may want to adjust your sugar, or who cares? I bet you it'll be great either way. Let's go make that sauce. Here's my cranberry sauce, and we're going to start with this. Now ours is a little chunky, so we're going to run this whole thing through the blender at the end because I am lazy. We've got a couple whole chipotles in there and some of their sauce. I'll leave you a recipe down in the description box, so don't you worry. Got some brown sugar, some butter, black pepper, ground ginger, some hickory smoked sea salt, or you can just use kosher salt, and of course, a shot of bourbon. Just gonna stir this up. Now I'm going to take it inside and cook it just until the butter melts and the sugar melts a little bit as well. You don't want to cook this so much because it'll get too thick. And then I'll run it through my blender real quick to make it smooth. If you don't mind it chunky, you can just leave it as is, but you'll want to cut up your chipotles beforehand. All right, I'll see you in a little while when it's all smooth and ready to go. Here's our sauce all ready to go. Now I just pulsed it through our blender and made kind of a rustic sauce. This will be great. Any leftovers will be great on goat cheese or even toast in the morning. But you know what it's going to be perfect on? Those ribs.
Well, it's just been a little bit over an hour since I saw you back here at the grill last. We've been smoking now for a total of 3 hours. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check on these ribs, and I'm going to show you guys my special trick to check to see if the ribs are done. All right, so let's go over to the grill and let's check out the ribs, and I'll show you what the heck I'm talking about. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check for the tenderness of these ribs. Now, I'm gonna use my probe right here, but you can use something like a toothpick or anything else that you can just kind of poke in there. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of feeling how it feels to go in. So there's very little resistance going in. I'll find something that's not hitting the bone right there. There we go. And then when I pull it out, there's no resistance either, okay? So it kind of feels like it's going into soft butter. And if you guys have been following this channel for a long time, you know all about this trick. You've heard me talk about it a million times, but if you're just new to this channel, this is a really important tip, all right? You're just feeling for tenderness, all right? So it should go in easy and come out easy, all right? Now there's just some nuance to it, all right? You don't want it to be completely mushy. You still want to have just a little bit, maybe just a little bit of resistance in there. You want to have that nice bite where it's tender, comes off the bone, but there's still a little bit of a, a nice little chew to it. You don't want mushy ribs. That's the worst thing. So these ribs are feeling real good. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to say that these are done, all right? So let me go ahead and grab that Chipotle Cranberry Glaze. And because this has so much sugar in it, you want to add this glaze only when you're ready to pull these ribs off the grill and not a moment too soon, okay? Because otherwise the heat in the grill is going to burn this sugar. And you're just going to brush on a nice little coating of this glaze. We've got a nice bark that's set up on the ribs, so brushing on this glaze isn't going to wash out that bark at all. That bark's going to hold up real nice underneath this glaze. There we go, okay? Boom. All right, so the tenderness on these is feeling just right. I'm going to call it. I'm going to say these are done. So let me go ahead and get them off the grill. I'm going to slice them up, and we'll give them a taste test. Ooh, yeah. Looking real good, y'all. Don't you wish you had some of these? Well, you can. You just got to make it yourself. We are losing light real quick, so let me go ahead and just get a couple slices of ribs out of here, and then we'll get a taste test for you. check these out. And Martha, I'm so glad that you are here to try out these ribs with us. And
I wouldn't miss it for anything.
that glaze you made looks real nice, and I'm telling you, it smells real good.
Look, I'm smiling.
It smells nice, little cranberry, hint of cranberry coming off these ribs.
Smelling like the holidays.
Now, I have never tried cranberry with ribs before. Have you?
No.
No. So this is a first right here. So here we go. Let's give
Here
it
we
a try.
go.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, we knocked that one right out of the park,
Oh,
didn't
home
we?
run.
That's
home
great.
Run. Now, let me tell you what. I tell you what. Man, these ribs are good. Now, tenderness, I'm going to say it's freaking perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Look at that bite, y'all. I mean, boom, right there. That's what you want. All right, now taste. Let me get another bite because there's a lot going on here. Golly. That is real good. Now,
That glaze is amazing.
that glaze is amazing.
It's super great on pork. As I said before, I think it would also be great on toast and on cheese.
All right, if you're doing that. But let's talk about these ribs now. I'm getting that cranberry flavor. I'm getting a nice little cranberry. The tang from that cranberry is real nice. It almost is like a substitute for some vinegar, which I love vinegar flavor and barbecue sauces and all that. But the cranberry is a nice tang.
It's not too cranberry-y.
Not at all. It's perfect. It's a perfect.
I like the chipotle in there. It's
Yep.
not that spicy.
Yep.
I think it could have even been kicked up a couple notches.
That's all
but-
good.
Since this is the first time we were giving it a go, I decided to be a little
It's a
conservative.
great starting point, all right? great launching pad, all right? I'll tell you what, this recipe is real good. Way to go, sweetie. You knocked it out of the park on that.
Well, you made some great meat to go with it.
Well, I appreciate that. And listen, we appreciate you for hanging out with us today. We love you. And we're going to have everything right down below in the description box, all right? So if you want to make these ribs, you want to try out this glaze, which...
would be great on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah. You need to try out this recipe for the glaze. We're gonna have everything right down below. Just click show more. You can open it up and you can try it for yourself, all right? So yeah, go ahead and try these ribs out. We love you. And until next time, we're gonna say, smoke them if you got them.
That's right.
That's right. Bye-bye.
Bye.